Hey guys, this is Hairball G. I'm here on the map with City Resurrection, and you might notice my voice sounds a little different. Um, I'm sick, and also it's been 6 months since you've last heard me. And we both feel really bad about that.
Yeah. Figured we ought to do something.
Yeah. Alright, hold on, I can't even remember, like, the code spawn point. Alright, here we go. Alright, so I'm gonna attack this tower, and you just pretend to defend it while I talk a little bit.
Okay, should I... Alright, I guess I'll just use the bread I have in my inventory for some reason.
Okay, you actually hit really hard because of your chest plate.
Oh yeah, I'm the Berserker.
Yeah.
Dude, we have classes and stuff. Oh shit.
Yeah, we have all this stuff. Why did we stop? I mean, we had a lot of stuff going. Well, the
What?
quick answer is like actually there is no quick answer. It's a
Uh,
mixture of I didn't make time to build. I guess I got kind of lazy.
gonna... Oh shit.
And same goes for city, but not so much. Like I had the server, but I never really turned it on like that much. We were working like maybe once a week, and then oh Jesus,
Oh.
it
Shit, I
went down to once every 2 weeks, and eventually we just stopped working altogether. And and then
It's
other
hard.
stuff came in like I started getting a lot of schoolwork. For those of you that don't know, I do video production at my high school, and that's very time consuming. And so yeah, after I stopped working, I didn't find time to get back into it. Come on, I'm gonna kill you. And yeah, that's pretty much it. But I read a couple comments on YouTube saying, where has it gone? It's been a year. What are you guys doing? That sort of thing. And I felt bad, so I'm making this video.
Hmm. Yeah. I guess we might as well explain how things have... Well, actually, might as well explain what system we had going. Or actually, just, I guess, how it started. What did we originally want to do?
Originally, let's see. So it started off just me. Like I had done a lot of small maps um, in
Oh,
my
yeah.
young map making days. I mean, none of them really got any attention, and whatever. But and then I started playing Smite, which I believe I don't know. One of you guys showed me Smite.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It was probably
It was...
Luke.
Yeah, something like that.
It's probably Luke showed me Smite, and then later I started playing Dota, and so I got into the whole MOBA thing, and I was like, huh, Minecraft sounds like a pretty decent medium, or,
I...
to host a MOBA in, and so I started working in secret during the summer, and my
2012?
2012, yeah.
Something
And
like that.
yeah, my plan was that I was gonna make this and then like surprise you guys, like, hey, you guys wanna play some
Well,
Minecraft, and be like, oh, bam, it's actually a MOBA, like that
I,
kind of thing. But
I
I
had no
started
idea.
going way over my head. Like I kept bringing in all these new ideas, and like a bunch of stuff I'd never tried before. And I wanted, like, the map was gonna be pretty small to start with, but then I started like increasing the size, and and then what happened was I started documenting my progress. So I would start making videos every once in a while
Berserker op.
about like, yeah, Berserker is really op. Also, like, I take damage when I'm in the tower, so it's like
Yeah.
really hard for me to fight.
I guess just defense is good.
Yeah,
That's probably what it is.
that's probably what it is. Like, I think my first video showed off a really old prototype of this tower that, as you can see, is very much improved since the first video. And if you haven't seen that, you should definitely go back and check it out. Just like check out how we've improved our map
Yeah.
since summer of 2012.
It's actually really it's kind of strange how different it is.
Yeah, like I just went back and looked at my old episodes, and it's like, wow,
Yeah.
we've definitely improved on this since then.
We really have to thank a lot of the development in Minecraft, though. They've actually started to support a lot of map making stuff.
Yeah, like when I started working on it, I mean, there were like a couple features. I'm pretty sure the command block wasn't in yet. Oh, there we go. It's my tower, bitch.
Shit. It's Emerald now.
Yeah.
No, 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 no.
Oh, you run way too fast, dude.
I do. It's that 40% boost.
Yeah. So I was using a lot of mob spawners, which was, for you newbies, mob spawners were the thing before the command block. Like, you had to use mob spawners to get anything in. And actually, even after the command block, because there wasn't that many commands in, you still had to use the mob spawner for a lot of things in maps. But then technology started getting the better of me, and like all these new features came out, and I just like had to play with new toys, and I kept increasing, the scale of the map, and it got really out of hand. So I had to call in City, who is our builder. He's responsible for a lot of the buildings that we're gonna show you in a second. And he gave me a lot of good ideas on like where to take the map. One of them being making the map three-dimensional, which sounds kind of weird, but my original idea was that the entire map was gonna be flat, and like that sounds really boring, doesn't it? It's just a flat map where you fight. So he gave me the idea to make it three-dimensional, like put depth to it and that sort of thing.
Yeah, actually, we should do some exploring. Get some aerial views.
Yeah. All right, let's just lose a fight to this skeleton.
Because a lot of stuff has changed in the map since we last recorded stuff. I mean, personally, we didn't really want to record stuff and put it out all that often. I mean, we really like building and working on it, but as time progressed, Hairball G was working a lot on the technology in the map, and things were always constantly breaking, and constant stuff that you get with the development of maps.
Yeah, like every update, just the entire map would break, and I'd have to go in and change everything ever so slightly so it would work.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy. All right, actually, before I want this to be like the finale, because that's like where we last left off.
That's true. We spent a lot of time in the spawn area. I guess the opponent bases.
Mm-hmm.
Except one of the other side of the map is basically empty.
Yeah.
We planned on duplicating it, and then I guess what do you call it? Individualizing it, making the
So pretty much I don't know if anyone uses MC Edit anymore in map making, but that was the big hype back in the day. And so my plan was we were gonna build one side of the map, then MC Edit just like copy it over to the other side. And and then adding like a couple features. For those who don't know, the two teams in this map are Emerald, which is the green, and Redstone, which is the red. And so the Redstone base would have like red, outlines or trims or whatever, and the Emerald base would have emerald trims.
Yeah.
But yeah, before we show that, let me just show you guys like a couple little things.
Yeah.
So, here, let's see, scoreboard. No.
That is everyone's
Yeah.
it's followed us.
Yeah, so I know there's only like 80 or 90 of you out there, but we are like very grateful for your feedback on all these videos, and I mean that's the reason why we're making this last video in the first place. So thank you guys so much for supporting us up until now, and we're sorry it had to end like this.
Well, it's I guess it's trying to give a reasonable explanation.
Yeah.
Ow.
So yeah, so the little things. So I'm pretty sure last episode I was explaining about classes. There are like 8 or 10 classes in total. And for those of you who have played MOBA, they're named different things like heroes, champions, or gods. And I kind of wanted to make something like that. And the problem with Minecraft is that there's not a lot of combat mechanisms implemented. Like, I mean, you can hit people with your sword or spell book. Like, I renamed a bunch of items. Isn't that cool? And you can block, like, you can fire bows and arrows, but I mean, there isn't that much variety. So one of the big challenges was coming up with ways to make these classes unique and
and have a dynamic
yeah,
against each other.
And probably the most unique class is the battle mage, because it uses spells, quote unquote, which are actually just potions. And the latest thing I've added to it is a cooldown meter. So if you look under my experience, I have 100 levels, but you can see the experience bar slowly rising. And here, let me just throw a couple potions. When the experience bar reaches the end, it's going to reset all my potions. So there it goes, and I get all my potions back. And this is just, I don't know, some sort of combat mechanism that I've implemented, so that you have a limited number of, like, I guess, spells, or a limited use on your spells, and you have to wait till your cooldown is refreshed in order to use them again. And there are a couple tricks you can do with this. Like, if you wait till the very end, you can use all your potions and then immediately use them again, like, sort of cool things, and pretty proud of that. I think that's a cool mechanism.
Let's see.
And I was planning on adding some other things that are along these lines, such as like one-time use weapons, where you would strike someone with a sword once and it would break, and you would have to wait for it to cool down. And the cooldown could be very short, it could be very long, depending on how powerful the weapon is. I just didn't get around to that.
We also, I also remember you were working on implementing the ultimate attacks, which were very difficult to work with.
Yeah.
But you always seem to find a way to try and get these things working.
Yeah, so a lot of, I mean, this is a MOBA-based map, so a lot of the things are coming from MOBAs, and a really big part is the ultimate ability, which is like, the biggest attack you have, pretty much. And I tried to implement something similar. So for the battle mage, unfortunately right now it isn't working because, again, redstone breaks with every update, it seems. But what would happen is I would right click on my ulti scroll, and you can find more details of this if you go back down through my videos, through our videos. But you would right click on your ulti scroll and it would strike everyone on the map with lightning, which was pretty cool. And I mean, it sounded like lightning, like you don't really see it, but yeah, you'll have to check our other videos for more details. Okay, so here's another thing I've put in.
Where are you?
I'm back by the tower.
I'm just like flying around the underside of the map looking for you.
I'm still topside.
We need to check that out because it's a really cool area.
Yeah, the underside of the map is pretty cool. But so this is, I don't know, sort of a cool thing I've added. If we go ahead and, alright, so you guys have to listen pretty carefully for this one. Time set.
And there you are.
All right. So at night, there's gonna be like a wolf howl right when it turns to night, and then right when it turns to day, there's gonna be a chicken. I tried to get like a rooster, but I mean, there's no noise like that in Minecraft. And this is sort of emulating the Dota feature where, like, the second it turns to night, there's like a wolf howl, and I'm pretty sure you get some sort of attack buff, which I haven't put that in yet. And then at day there, when it turns to day, there's a rooster. So you know, little things like that just to make the map a little bit more, cute, I guess.
Man, I remember you adding this.
Yeah, I actually added this very recently. Recently is like 15 minutes ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's that. Let me go into creative, and we're gonna fly around the map a little bit.
Yeah, sure. It's actually... I haven't kept up very much with Minecraft videos. Like, the only thing I've been aware of recently is Seth Bling and his updates that he's worked on. But other than that, I'm not sure if there's been... well, I mean, there's obviously got to be a bunch of stuff out there, like what we've been doing, except, a lot more frequent and whatnot. But, yeah, it's actually kind of strange. Not sure if it's much like this. Forget where I was going with that. Whatever.
Yeah.
So where are we going?
I don't know. Just checking out the map.
Oh,
so
right.
Here's some jungle arenas. These are not finished yet. The idea was there would be one jungling, and as you can see, there are 3 junglings. I don't know what happened there, but you would go in and you would get your buff. So this is like League or Smite, where you can walk into like jungle arenas, I guess, and get buffs. Here's another jungle arena here. I was going to add a secret shop somewhere on this mountain, where like you have to go to the secret shop in order to get specific items, like that sort of thing. There are these temples that we've implemented actually pretty early in the development of the map. And they were going to be a pretty cool feature, I think.
We planned on basically having them spawn random events.
Yeah. So what would happen is, I wasn't sure exactly how we were going to do it, but you would go to the temple and like give it an offering, and it would start a random event which could benefit your team, like in the form of a buff or just a slight advantage over the other team, or it could be bad and like screw over your team, or it could be something completely random, like all mobs on the map turn into ghasts, or slimes everywhere, or everyone is teleported into a strobe lighting seizure room or something like that.
I'm pretty sure you actually have a room like that, don't you?
Strobe lighting seizure room.
Yeah, I think actually it's in one of the bases, but yeah, we're pretty excited about
yeah, like that
those
was
events.
That was the one thing that was gonna stand us apart. Like, I've been like drawing aspects from different MOBAs to put into the map, and that was gonna be our thing that, like, I don't know, like made it unique, was this random event. And we were gonna like go to town on these random events. Like they would be very random.
Because the other MOBAs aren't based on well, they aren't based on games in which every piece of architecture is destructible. I mean, in the cases that we had gas, we were thinking about having the fire tick spread on so that bridges and certain parts of towers and stuff like that can be destroyed, and bringing a different style of match each time. So I guess a bit more replayability than you would expect.
Yeah, this is something we. Oh yeah, go ahead.
But yeah, I mean, we try to run along with it, but more or less, the ideas were very difficult to implement.
Yeah. So elaborating on what City just said, what you see here is kind of like the bare bones of the map. Like this red carpet was definitely going to be replaced with some sort of ground material like dirt or podzol or I don't know, like maybe even brick.
Yeah,
Um,
it was basically going to be fleshed out into something else.
yeah, and we were gonna stick trees everywhere. And so what would happen when like a random event spawns a bunch of ghasts or someone has like fireballs at their disposal, which was gonna be a thing. Like someone was going to actually be able to shoot fireballs from their hands. And what would happen is trees would start burning down, and these bridges would start burning down, and like people would fall down, and stuff would catch fire, and there'd be TNT everywhere, and like very controlled TNT, nonetheless.
Well, yeah, there was a lot of stuff that we also had to try and think of balancing in these events because I mean, there's so many places you could fall through the cracks as well. I mean, trying to implement the closed experience of a MOBA where you have these solid directions to go through, and then not putting these really solid I guess like fake walls to prevent people from moving around while still having the game work was very difficult because we once we decided to make the game three-dimensional, once we decided to add more variance in the maps, it obviously gave people more spots to I guess cheese the game or fall and get stuck or whatever that. But we had plans to I guess revert those situations while
Yeah.
still trying to keep it open.
Yeah, and the thing about falling through the cracks is like once some TNT would go off, you just like fall through here. There's one block separating the top side and the underside of the map.
Yeah.
And so if something went wrong, you would end up in like the technology, which actually we can check out right now if you wanted to TP to
Yeah.
me. Here you go.
Thanks. Well, one of the things I find really funny actually is actually to see, you can really easily see the development of the map. Like I'm actually not sure how long it's been because I remember we did a lot of work between now and the last update that we released.
Hmm.
Like I'm not even sure if the towers looked the same at all or anything like that. But it's really easy to tell the development of map when you go to the other side and you see the empty gates
Uh-huh.
compared to the other side, where you just have these three open gates just standing there and no content around it. And
Yeah.
it started as like a flat glass plane, basically.
Yeah, if you actually watch the first numbered episode of this MOBA map making, where I'm pretty sure I said something along the lines of, if you're watching this video, it means that the release of the map is not far along. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
But the entire map was just a flat like glass, and I used snow to mark out the lanes, and we started adding like a grass, and we had our first argument over the map whether or not to make
Yeah.
it three-dimensional.
Yeah, there have been a lot of arguments. And it's been pretty stupid, but mostly that stuff revolved around building and just generally getting the design down because we didn't have a plan at all on what things should look like.
Hmm.
And we're just two guys that wanted to make it, and it was pretty big, but we still thought that if we kept working on it, we would get somewhere.
Yeah.
It was just so difficult to coordinate it, but yeah, in the underside of the map, it's probably one of my favorite places to look at because of because of the strange design in I guess I guess you can call it the programming of the map
Yeah.
that Hairball Geo was pretty much constantly working on.
Yeah, so all these command blocks actually are, they correspond to, like, this emerald ring up here that I'm pointing at. It corresponds to, like, this ring of command blocks down here. And so this whole, like, mushroom-like complex was all so that I could switch the blocks in the tower to change the color of it. And now if you look at the first tower design, there were 4 blocks in the tower that would designate which team it was which team it belonged to. And now it's this entire like ring that surrounds the tower that also shows the boundary in which the tower can attack you,
Yeah.
as well as a couple lines on the actual tower itself. And another thing about Minecraft technology that's constantly breaking our map is that this entire thing can now be done with one command block. So this, I don't know, this is like 100 command blocks maybe per half a mushroom, so it's 200 times, what, like 12 towers?
Yeah. It's so much. So much. And it was even more. But it was even more when we had
Yeah. Yeah, no,
less
the
plants.
first design for this actually used monster spawners because that was before we could use command blocks to switch blocks.
Yeah, this is the efficient design.
hmm And it's actually so much. And now we could just, like, this is using the set block command, but now we can use, like, there's a copy command. It's slash something, but you can copy an entire section um, of land and put it somewhere else. So what I could do is just have one command block copy over an entire tower, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's crazy.
Yeah. And
So
it's
yeah,
always a fight to try and minimize lag as well, even though even though he would always come up with these crazy ideas. It's like, making changing blocks in the map. Like with every update, he came up with new ideas, but then we would always try and come up with some sort of compromise on what we wanted to do, and they would change the direction of the map. It was pretty funny, but yeah, it usually resulted in these funny looking builds that we have at the bottom here, and there's always stuff surrounding the map that's pretty interesting,
yeah.
which I guess we can get a look at, but um, more or less, yeah. Yeah, I'll leave it to you.
Yeah. So another thing that uh, one of the more recent additions to the map is are these things. I believe I showed these off in an episode. I'm not sure, but these are shops. So every class has their own shop, and now so there can only be one player per class per shop, and that's just to make things more manageable. And so what you would do is you would come in here and you would buy. So each of these lamps correspond to like one skill point. So this would be one skill point in armor, and this would be like one skill point in your spell book, which I'm holding right now, which is your main melee weapon. And then upstairs, if we go upstairs, so there were 2 stories to most of these shops.
Are you at the blimps?
Yeah, the blimps. Actually, that's a good nickname for these.
Yeah.
And then upstairs, there's more things you can buy. And I was in the middle of this. Oh, actually, it looks like this is working somewhat.
Whoa.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah,
Things
not
aren't
enough
supposed
gold.
to work.
Yeah, what's up with that? Oh man, I'm trying to like get out of here, but I don't want to do too much damage.
Yeah.
Um, excuse me. But then that also broke. So you can see this huge pillar right here, and this was built so once you buy everything in the shop, you would have to receive it somehow. And so what it would do is you would hit the like complete button, which would teleport you into this pillar, and the pillar would then drop items on your head. Like these dispensers carry the items that you would receive, and the tower would know which items to give you using scoreboards and crazy coding and
Yeah.
stuff like that, and it would drop the items on you. But that broke. It just didn't work out. There could have been a number of reasons, and I checked it out. Like I triple checked it and stuff, and it should have been working, but it just didn't. Or it didn't work all the time. So what I changed it to is this system using command blocks. Now, command blocks are pretty much replacing everything in this map. But what this is a more compact version where instead of dispensers handing you items, like command blocks would hand you items. And the cool thing about the new command blocks is that you can add these like data tags to it. So everything is in text, like there aren't actually tangible items floating around, which makes it great. Like it'll hand it directly to you rather than throwing an item on the ground that you have to pick up.
Yeah.
So yeah, making stuff like optimizing the map was one of our biggest things.
Yeah, and it was constantly kind of like an uphill battle trying to work with it. It was great to see the new updates and all the new support for map making, but at the same time,
Yeah.
everything was made simpler. And as Harold G likes to state, pretty often, is that if we started the map, say more recently, if we started the map now, it would be a lot different.
And
'Cause yeah.
yeah, I mean, like, I complain about the updates a lot, like how they break the map, but they're actually, I mean, they are making it easier. So it's just
Yeah.
that I have to tear down everything I did, but they are really helpful. Like, Mojang is awesome for giving so much support to map makers, and I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of awesome maps in the future.
Yeah. And well, I guess at the same time, I guess it explains some of the discouragement we had towards going forward with the map. Like I remember you mentioning actually that was it Sethling that had a tutorial on making a MOBA map?
Yeah, that was actually pretty recent that he came out with it, and it was just one part of it. It was it had to do with like mob tracking, and one part of the MOBA that we could never get working in the map was having mobs fight for you.
Yeah.
So we compromised that, and that was actually going to be one of the last things we did. So unfortunately, we won't be able to show you our idea on that. But Seth Bling just released a video on how to pretty much do what we were trying to do. It's not 100% there, but still at the same time, that was kind of like the last straw. Like after that, I was like, well, I mean, I could keep trying to do it, but he kind of
what can
already
we
solved
do?
it.
Yeah, what can we do? Because we're just we weren't constantly working on it, so all the stuff that we worked in was always, I guess, overlapped at the same time. So we wanted to make a quality map, but at the same time we just weren't committed to it, which is why a lot of stuff which is why a lot of stuff doesn't come out. And it's just kind of we figure instead of letting it, I guess, letting it be, and just leaving whoever was interested in it, leaving them out of the loop. Just might as well, tell you guys that everything was getting better, and we just didn't make the time for them because, we barely play Minecraft anymore. We don't do that stuff, and we did a lot of cool things, and we're gonna try and show you a few more things. But
stick around till the end. I mean, this video will end on an upbeat. Don't worry about that. Stick around to the end.
I mean, let's just head to it then.
Yeah. All right. So this is what I guess took the most time. I don't know if any of you remember what this looked like before, what Spawn looked like before, but it was pretty much 3 lanes with grass.
Like I remember we looked down and we'd see the trident, the sort of that pathway that led out to the gates, and that was all we had. I remember we had some sort of documentation on the Nexus area that we had for
the Nexus broke, by the way. There's supposed to be a wither that spawns in here when a Team Redstone player comes up to it, but I mean there's no wither anymore. So actually we are going to show you this part in adventure mode, just to show you like a first-person point of view. So let's actually start up at spawn.
Okay. Yeah, let's do that. Because I remember...
this place looks a lot better at night, too, so...
Yeah. I remember...
It's 1600. right?
I basically spent all my time here.
Yeah, much better.
Yeah, while he was working on, most of the dynamics of the map and, class structure and basically just how it was going to work, I tried to build things in, I guess, an interesting fashion, but still trying to make it work. It was very strange, the things that I made. I made, I would say, probably a little bit more than half of the stuff you see here. And it was always,
Oh shoot.
I mean, as you can see, for context, when you start the game, you'll be teleported here. You spawn and you'll head down.
You spawn in these 2 rooms, which are pretty cozy. And oh, well, look at this. There's a map of half of the map. Isn't that pretty cool?
Yeah, I guess it's our known sector.
Yeah. Ooh, okay. Hold on. Pick a disc.
Oh, right.
Wait, is this on here?
We've got all the selections.
Okay, I'm gonna turn off weather.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun building this part, but it was also most of the time that I guess the people that expected some stuff. Most of the time that you guys were expecting something, we were working on this area, and we were, oof, man. There was a lot. This song sucks.
I'm sorry. Keep going. I'll find a good one.
But there's only like 8 discs. How is that possible? But whatever. It took a lot of time because we're always frustrated on trying to make it, because this was probably one of the things that was going to be the most fleshed out first, which is why it's got the most stuff going on.
Yeah.
And from what you see, I worked on the right side mostly. Yeah, and Hairball G worked on the left side, and he made a lot of he built a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And I built some stuff, like you see kind of the spire looking area that's next to the whatever. It's over there. I built it and rebuilt it and rethought it and rebuilt it, and it never became anything really.
Yeah.
I wanted to make something that looked good.
Yeah, well, okay, so like the goal was that you step out of spawn and like instead of just going out and fighting like any other PvP map, like
you get to explore.
Yeah, like a place to explore, like on your downtime, or I guess just a place to protect, because there was gonna be villagers everywhere. We're gonna try to make like a thriving community, like
I wanted to make something that was actually kind of interesting, because in a lot of because we played some Minecraft MOBA maps, we looked at some stuff, and one thing that always frustrated us, and I mean, it was one of the things that when I built, I tried to avoid it, especially, was the lack of, I guess, it looked like there's a lack of content in the areas, so it didn't seem, there's a focus on dynamics, but not anything on the visual areas, or any sort of, it's not really realism, but like more of an immersion in the areas that you work with.
Yeah, for instance, like welcome to Sleepy Hollow, like we wanted to make these little towns that you could enter and explore, and maybe there'd be secrets in here, like maybe some villagers would be offering some pretty interesting trades. And actually one of my ideas was coming up with sort of like a light lore, going through books, because that's something that had interested me for a really long time, is like writing books in Minecraft, like look, mine closed, why is the mine closed? Well, you have to ask this villager over here, blah blah blah. And yeah, and up there's like this floating library.
Well, I mean, the whole thing is it was a focus on the MOBA aspect, but we wanted to use some of the, I guess, here we let our imaginations, I guess, work a little bit with more levity. I don't know. But we wanted to add some aspects of Minecraft into it. And it wasn't just in, like, I guess, the exploration, because people always make adventure maps, and there's lots of lore, there's lots of stuff working into that. But we wanted to make something with a clear direction, but still every time you play it, there's more stuff to look at, but there's still this pressure, this pacing in the game that I guess moved you onwards while things seem really fleshed out and like you're actually in a town that need to be protected, like you're actually in a battlefield that
Like the fight actually
whatever.
matters. Like it's not just about you winning. It's about it's about the villagers that you're protecting.
Villagers, the town, the structures, everything. So I wanted to make all this stuff really compelling and sort of think a bit more vertically in the way that I built. So it would be interesting to look at and interesting to explore and actually kind of maneuverable, because a lot of adventure maps you go around and not have access to some of the areas, and I was always constantly rebuilding things so that it would be satisfactory. It took a lot of time, so it's probably one of the biggest problems was, we were ambitious, but there was also this, number one, we were always fighting over things because well, actually, because I was really territorial about building in some cases, and Hairball G wanted to build a lot of things. He would get stuff done, and I was like frustrated over dumb things. That was one thing, and then secondly, we didn't have enough time for what we were building, what we wanted to do. So I guess there was this quality we expected, but balancing that out between the two of us was very difficult. And then, thirdly, we didn't make the time. So, I guess, I'm sort of beating a dead horse in this case, but sort of want to explain it out, even though, it's going to be a long video, but it's going to be something.
Yeah. This is going to be a lot of talking. Like,
yeah, I know.
We don't show off nearly as much technology as we do in the other videos. But
yeah, we were on a build schedule. Now it's just sort of, we got to explain stuff because it's been, I don't know how long, 5 months. What has it been?
6. Yeah, 6 months. Half a year, dude.
Yeah, I know. We've been working on this for probably the better part of 2 years. Oh yeah. Actually, do you still have the arcade?
I do. That was gonna be the last thing. I'm actually just showing them the restaurant, and the restaurant, like all the testificates seem to gather at the restaurant, which is pretty cool, I guess.
It was somewhat cool. One of the things that bothered us a lot was actually testificates. And
yeah, they don't act like we want them to. They all want to gather in one place and go.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they made them way too social. They would always hang out in the same area, but. Yeah, what can we do about that?
Hills. So actually, for those of you who don't know what Roppongi Hills is actually, I'm not even sure myself. It's in a very wealthy neighborhood of Tokyo. Roppongi is like dream destination of many people who want to be like rich and like I don't know business owners, celebrities, like those kind of people. And Roppongi Hills, although I'm not sure if there's like actual residency in there, it is just a damn nice building. I went up to the Tokyo Tower 1 year and just saw that tower. It's like, if there is residency there, I want to live there. So because of that, I've named the apartment complex in the map Roppongi Hills. And I'm going to show you a little bit of the apartment complex as well. And yeah, City, you can actually TP to me because the arcade is right by here.
Right. Yeah. Like initially.
Whoa.
Initially, he was going to work on a lot of the dynamics of the map, and then I was going to build the spawn center, but it took way too long for me to build anything, so he started helping me out. But then I was territorial, which is one thing. Which is kind of like which is why this area looks so strange to begin with. It's kind of weird, but it also has it's got some interesting stuff to find. And I guess at this point we should probably mention that, I mean, one of the points of this video is to, I guess state that, we won't be releasing the map as,
Hmm.
as we intended to. We won't be releasing it with all the features and supporting it because we know that's just not possible.
Yeah.
Because, whatever we're doing. But instead of that, we intend on releasing the map as it is, and we might include some things. Might write some stuff down for, I don't know, people that are too bored with however long, like an hour-long video of what we're explaining here. But we'll be releasing it as it is, and for people to, I guess, play with. And, if anyone can make this into something real,
Yeah.
that would be interesting.
Yeah, so I'm going to be putting a link to a Minecraft forum page where you're going to be able to find this map, a couple of my other test maps, including the very first map where I worked on the MOBA. So you're going to see all like the old buildings, pretty much access to any piece of this map that I might have. And if you know anything about map making, or if you have a friend that's really good at map making, you guys can play around with it, like try to wrap your head around what I was doing. And I mean, it's probably pretty bad. I'm not that good at redstone, but
Yeah, and
I mean, there is some stuff there that you can definitely work with, and like add your own stuff to it. Like you can do whatever.
yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say obviously, but we don't expect too much of a response. But I figure, putting this out
Hmm.
and you saying, hey, we built something, might as well release it, and if anything comes of it, it'll be a nice surprise.
Yeah.
Because the buildings are really strange. They had some direction to them, but at this point, we can barely remember.
Mhm.
So might as well give it to other people. I mean, might as well play with it, or build something. And yeah, that's basically what we have there. And anyways, in the future, I guess we might be doing some things, but we just don't have anything planned. We don't have we didn't really have too much of a direction going into this, other than making the map. It became more ambitious than whatever we imagined, but not to be too dramatic.
Yeah, not to be too dramatic.
Yeah, we just couldn't
Yeah.
do this thing. It's probably the first thing that we ever haven't finished, because we did some other maps and it was kind of funny.
Yeah,
But we
we
wanted to
did.
do MOBA and all that stuff. It was
Yeah,
fun.
like I've made a couple of small maps that I've put on a Minecraft forum, and I mean, they've got, pretty minimal response. A couple people doing Let's Plays, which is, I love watching people do Let's Plays on my videos. It's really fun.
Yeah.
And yeah, and then that was actually before we made this YouTube account, and I mean, originally we had planned on making this pretty long, just like, keep the content coming, but it got pretty sparse.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so we just can't guarantee that we're gonna be working on stuff like this anymore. But that doesn't mean that I've stopped, like
Yeah.
in altogether. So I'm still gonna be checking those forums and stuff, and I'll still be like playing Minecraft. Like I'll be up to date. I'll know a lot about the updates, and if I feel like it, I can make a small map again, like something that me and City can easily whip together in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Or a couple days even. A lot of my maps I did in 1 or 2 days, and I thought they were pretty solid. I know 1 or 2 days sounds pretty sloppy, but yeah. So again, link in the description if you want to see this map.
Yeah. We included some stuff that we weren't able to show here. So might
Yeah.
as well leave it for you guys to explore because we intended people to look at the map
Yeah.
at some point.
Yeah, that's why we made this whole like city bazaar complex. And by the way, like this thing up here, that's just a bunch of maps. This was gonna be a banner. Now that you can make custom maps, this is gonna be like one big banner that says like bazaar, like open Monday through Thursdays, or so, I don't know, something like that.
Who
Just
knows?
adding more immersion to the game. So yeah, so I guess we're going into the last couple minutes of the video. Did you want to follow me to the arcade?
Sure. And if there's one, I guess one hopeful thing we can bring from this.
We have to take our armor off before going into the arcade.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
That is the etiquette, after all.
Yeah. I guess to be hopeful, if we are to make anything after this, we'll be starting from now. We won't. I mean, I guess the technology, whatever you call it, the stuff we have access to now is ridiculous. But
how can I kill like all the testificates at once? Is there a way?
Dude, I don't know.
Oh my god, there's definitely a way, but just hold on a second.
Might as well
Alright.
omit this from the video.
What's the command to? Okay, game rule. Do mob. No. Is it mob damage? No.
Who
Mob.
knows?
Mob griefing false. There we go.
Can we just blow it up? Oh. Oh shit.
Oh, come back here. Why is
Okay,
it following you?
I certainly didn't expect this to happen. Shit.
Alright, I got him.
Nice. There's so many.
I know. How are they? I'm just not sure how so many of them survive.
It's cruel.
Oh my God.
Usual punishment. Damn. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. So far, I see about what? Oh my.
Got him.
Yeah. We probably have like 1 or 2 secrets hanging out here. Shit.
I think I already showed him the kitchen one. Did you die?
No, I'm good. I'm
Yeah.
hanging pretty good with 2 hearts. Yeah.
Oh yeah, natural regen is off, so.
Man, maybe one day they won't allow you to grief stuff in adventure mode.
I know you can still like break glass, which is crazy.
Yeah, that's like the one. That's probably one of the things that we were afraid about in going into.
Yeah, like look, I'm in adventure mode and like bam, like I could break this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So might as well alert you guys of that, anyways.
Yeah. All right, we're going down to the arcade.
Man, I was so
Ooh.
I was so mad and
Oh yeah. I like built this just in secret. And it wait, no, we had talked about this before, right?
yeah.
And I was like, hey, I want to build an arcade. And then you were like, absolutely not.
Yeah, I was saying no, because I'm pretty sure I wanted to maintain this. What do you call it? Not like not like something canonical. I think it was just the theme of the map.
Hmm.
We wanted this bazaar in like a marketplace for people, and it was going to be somewhat what do you call it? Rudimentary, not not with full of electronics and all that stuff, because it just wouldn't know how to integrate that in the game at all.
But then like the other thing was like you realize that, I mean, after like cold hard like 20 minutes of fighting, like maybe you just gotta come down here and chill, right? You just gotta come down here and play Archery Mania. Oh, what's this? Oh, oh, 1, 2, 3.
I'm pretty sure though. After people get tired of all the fighting, they just leave the map. I don't know though.
The only piece of redstone that still works in my map is frickin' Archery Mania.
Well, you know, how can you go wrong with those buttons? Are those arrows? Those arrows are in some strange positions.
Yeah,
Whatever. It's upside down. Oh no.
yeah.
Not me.
And ski axe. This is like skee ball, which
But with an axe.
didn't work because all the ice melted. Hold on, give me a sec.
Look at all the hoppers.
Oh god, I can't get through.
Oh, this is awesome. Yeah, we haven't been on this map in a while, actually.
I'm not
actually, I
sure
haven't.
how like all this ice melted, to be honest.
Hmm.
But
I'm not sure. I'm not sure I want to say for fear of being wrong.
Yeah, you're
I mean,
probably wrong.
because I'm not sure if glowstone lamps have an effect on it, but we also have a lot of redstone down here. What could it
I
be?
didn't
Maybe
know
it's the biome. Does that have anything to do with it?
I don't know.
What could it be? Because I mean, this stuff is fine.
Yeah.
But hey, whatever.
Oh, what did I actually just? Right. Oh, I cannot throw today.
Yeah.
Need to work on my skee ball.
Oh
Come on,
man.
Get in. Yep, there we go. See, I need to get 3 out of the 4.
So yeah,
Hey, yeah, and it's
been
supposed to give you gold or something like that.
yeah, it's been about 2 years of work.
Yeah. Wow. So, yeah.
But yeah, yeah, we sent out a video to, I guess, you know, rest any doubts that you had about the map. I don't know, all 4 of you guys.
All 4 of you guys that are watching this. But yeah, I mean, no, but actually, like, I guess numbers matter somewhat, but it's just great to know that people are watching this and people do appreciate that we're releasing videos.
So
yeah.
So now we release this this monster of a video to explain.
It's
Hopefully
probably,
it
like-
explains some things, but hey, we'll be you know, as you said, we'll be releasing the map in a form, so you guys will see
Yeah.
everything that.
Yeah, you'll probably get this map like as it is right now, so this broken piece might still be here. Or,
Yeah.
you know, if I fix it right now, it could.
It's whatever. We'll just leave it.
Yeah, we'll just leave it. You guys can mess around. But yeah, I guess that brings this video to a close.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You'll probably hear from us sometime, but you know,
maybe.
that's what it is.
What it is, what it is.
All right. We'll see you later.